Hello, my fellow Retrotopians, and welcome to episode number 103 of the Retrotopia podcast, where we'll be talking Ridge Racer 64. First, let's talk about where you can find us. If you go to linktree/Retrotopia, you can find our social medias, our Discord, which is free and you should join. It's a good time over there, and our Patreon, which also starts at a free tier, and the merch page, which has lots of cool stuff on it. So go check it out. If you're new, welcome. We do a little bit of an introduction here. So if you're really antsy for Ridge Racer 64 and you just really want to hear us talk about it, skip ahead about 10 or 15 minutes. This actually might be a pretty short introduction. We didn't get a ton of comments for Ridge Racer. We don't get a deluge of comments for every game, but stick around because it's pretty fun. We got questions, comments, a good old time here. And we start that off with our comments section, which is just general comments and questions for the boys here. And I'm taking them this week. This is the 9-bit banter box. All right, our first comment comes from Brother Retro, who says, Salami Sam, what's your favorite 90s sports movie and why is it not D2 or Little Giants? Why not those? Those are great. But it's The Sandlot by a mile. But the first Mighty Ducks, I think, is an honorable mention. Those are good. Hey, I like D2 and Little Giants. Little Giants was awesome. Blue Yoshi. Blue Yoshi says, Sam, you've been attacked by a wild... Oh, insert Pokemon here. I'm supposed to insert Pokemon. Shuckle. And it's bitten your arm off. You have to design a cybernetic arm with 3 features. What are your features? First, I want a turbo controller-like feature that lets me button mash with my thumb at an insane speed. You know how like you had those old school like controllers, like the... what is it called? The Sega Mega Fury or whatever freaking Sega controller I have that helped me beat that Taz game, where you could flip the switch and like it would automatically mash the button for you. Like I just want that with a thumb. So I would do that. I would also have an attachment that has like keys to my car or house or whatever I need keys for. Because when I'm carrying stuff, I always seem to like have to open a door and then like my keys are in the wrong pocket. Like you're carrying groceries in or like a box in or something like that, and you want to just like secure the box and reach down with your hand, and then it's like, fuck, my keys are in the other pocket. I would just have it shoot out of my cybernetic arm and just do the thing. Also, you'd never lose your keys, so that's pretty cool. And then like in my forearm, I think I would have like a Bluetooth speaker, like a really high quality one. Yeah. Hopefully those aren't boring, but you know, really functional stuff. I think so. That's what I would do. Next comes from Philip Mouth with Farts, who says, what are some of your favorite video game memes that you've seen lately? I just saw one with a pack of Tic Tacs and it was labeled Final Fantasy Tic Tacs, and my dumb 12-year-old humor just laughed out loud, making my wife shake her head at me. I do like that Final Fantasy Tic Tacs one makes me laugh. Yeah, I've been calling Final Fantasy Tic Tacs. Yeah, Final Fan. Now I said it. But yeah, basically I've been calling Final Fantasy Tactics Final Fantasy Tic Tacs because of that meme. One I saw lately that is pretty, you know, the ones where it's like Mario, but he's Drake in that like, I don't know Drake or pop rap very much, but like, what does he do? He's doing the thing where he's like puts his hand up like no, and then another one where he's pointing like yes. I think everyone probably knows what I'm talking about. There's one where Mario's like no, but the no is like buying Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 at $60 in 2008 or whatever, and then it was like waiting 20 years and buying them both for $70 because that's in reference to the new collection that's coming out of those 2 games. I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, that's my favorite for now. Good one. The Big Deal says, what are your top 5 non-beagle breeds of dogs? This is a great question. I'm going to start with Bulldog. English Bulldog, I would say. I like all kinds of Bulldogs, but I just like the Snaggletooth and like the stocky, just like a big chunky boy that's like drooling and stuff. We went over, this was like last year on Christmas time. We went to a place where they do like woodworking stuff, and my kids were painting stuff, but they had like I don't know if he was a bulldog or a mix, but he was just a big chunky boy, and he was walking around. He's the best. I would say also a bloodhound, because that's just like a big old floppy dog. And I don't know, it just makes me think of like a detective. I would name him like Sherlock or something. I'm sure that's cliche, but whatever, I don't care. Golden Retriever. That's like a basic bitch answer, but like everyone loves Golden Retrievers. They're so fun. We've had a couple of Golden Retrievers when I was growing up, and they were just great. Number 4, I would say Dachshund, because it's like a little short beagle. They're just, whenever I see one, they're funny. I love Dachshunds. Or in Bluey, and they call the one Dachshund, says he's a sausage dog. That's really funny. And then number 1, Dalmatian. We had a couple Dalmatians when I was growing up, and I loved them. They can be a challenge. They don't always like new people or people outside of their family unit. They can be kind of protective, but God, they're great dogs. I think if I didn't have beagles, I would have a Dalmatian or 2. They're gorgeous. But yeah, those are them. Bulldog, Bloodhound, Golden Retriever, Dachshund, Dalmatian. Cool. All right. Thanks for that question. I love that question. I'll talk about dogs all day. All right. Julio the Hunter says, Sam, do you have a favorite scary game? And do you plan on playing anything scary for the month of October? Yes. I would say this is going to be a lame answer, but Silent Hill 2 Remake I played recently, and that was really fun. And then within the last year or so, we played through Last of Us Part 1 here, and that was also fun. So I don't know. Do you consider Last of Us a horror game? I mean, there's certainly like jump scares and scary elements to it, but yeah, I liked those. We're currently playing Last of Us Part 2. Since that went on PS Plus, we started playing that. Enjoying it so far. And I've been playing off and on this game called My Friendly Neighborhood, which I think we chatted about a little bit in the Discord, but it's like a Sesame Street meets Silent Hill type game, where it's like a survival horror but with like puppets. And it's it's not gory. It's not particularly violent, but it does like have some jump scare and just kind of general like eeriness to it. Yeah, that I've been enjoying, so I hope I can get some time on that this weekend and get a good chunk of it done, because I'd actually like to review it for New Game Plus. That's been a really fun game to play. And then looking forward to Silent Hill F. I haven't gotten it yet, but I think we'll pull the trigger on that pretty soon and start playing that. But yeah. Oh, and then also for the show, we're playing Fear within the next couple of weeks, and Brian's dreading it, so I'm like, okay, well, I don't know how I'm going to do with this one. It sounds like it's pretty scary. So there's going to be a bunch of scary games coming up. Thanks. All right. McFlurry XD writes, hey, you're up in Wisconsin, right? I'm in the Midwest, US, and I like to refer to Wisconsin as Diet Canada, if you will. It's really cold. You guys tend to like hockey, and while you're not crazy about maple syrup like Canadians are, stereotypically you guys are big into cheese. Are you a big cheese connoisseur? If I ever spend time in Wisconsin, is there something I should try? We have Culver's over here, and I think that's about as close to Wisconsin-esque cheese I think I've ever had. All right, lots to unpack here. I do love hockey, although I think it's more about football here with the Packers. I think our friends in Minnesota and Michigan are more known for their hockey. I mean, we have the Admirals, and we have Wisconsin. University of Wisconsin has a pretty good team. I mean, not lately, but hopefully they'll be getting back to form. There's some like minor league, there's a ECHL team in Green Bay, I think, the Gamblers, and then there's like other smaller schools that have teams, but we don't have an NHL team, which as they're bandying about potential expansion already again with the NHL. I've seen so many posts float Atlanta again, and I'm sorry if you're from Atlanta, but for fuck's sake, you tried twice and you lost your team both times. Just fuck off with that. Put a team in Milwaukee or Quebec. where there was another good city. There's plenty of good cities before you would put one in Atlanta, but anyways, whatever. Put a team in Milwaukee. Fuck the Blackhawks. Sorry also if you're from Chicago, but the Blackhawks are the reason why we don't have a team here, and they can get fucked. Let's see. I do love cheese. You can't really go far here without finding some sort of like cheese or cheese or sausage shop. Like, talk about touristy towns or like right along the border. It's like fireworks and cheese and porn. So I'm awesome. Sign me up. That's the fucking Holy Trinity trilogy. Holy Trilogy is Star Wars. Holy Trinity is cheese, porn, and fireworks. I couldn't say that without cracking up. All right, yeah. I would try any kind of cheese, but I think like most lately I like aged cheddar. I've always loved aged cheddar. That's always top for me. If you can get like a 10-year aged cheddar that kind of has like the little crystal crunches in it it's not really a crunch, but like kind of a grit. Oh, it's so good. It sounds not appetizing, but it's very good. Blue cheese. I've been into some blue cheese. That's pretty good. And then goat cheese. Goat cheese is good too. If I'm going for a softer cheese, goat cheese. I don't particularly care for like soft cheeses with a rind though. So like a lot of French cheeses, not for me. I'd have to give them a try again. But like brie, I'm not a big fan of, or like camembert. No, not doing it for me. But I'd have to try again. Anyways, yeah, I could talk about cheese all day too. Just get me going on cheese and dogs, and I'm going for a while. Culver's. I did want to mention about Culver's. I do enjoy Culver's, and I like that it brings some Wisconsin goodness to the general masses of the United States. But if you're ever here, do yourself a favor and don't go to Culver's, because it's not the best. Go to a good local frozen custard stand. Like if you're here in Milwaukee, go to Kopp's, go to Leon's. What else is there? There's Murph's. There's a ton. I mean, I can't think of. There used to be a place called the Duke's that's out west of here. I mean, you can't go far without finding and frozen custard, not ice cream. We've had this discussion before. Frozen custard. And honestly, the cheese curds at Culver's are bad. I'm not even gonna say they're okay. They're not good. I don't get them when I go there. Yeah, it's like you could get that in the frozen section of your grocery store, the way they're breaded. If you're here, or if you have cousins. I don't know if you have Cousins subs where you're at in the Midwest, but if you're in the Milwaukee area, go to Cousins, get cheese curds. They're the best. They got really good breading. So, yeah, that's my take on Culver's and cheese curds and cheese in general, and a little bit of sports. Good question. All right, I probably went on too long about that one. The last one comes from Avendali. Sorry, my text is a little bit too small, and it looked like two L's. All right. You say, first of all, yeah, Sam, what is your favorite Wisconsin beer? Anytime I trek over to the great Cheesehead State, go Pack Go, hell yeah, I pick up a couple of cases of Spotted Cow. Anything else worth trying? Yeah, plenty. First of all, welcome. I don't think I've seen your name in the comments for episodes that I've introduced. So welcome, and thanks for your comment and question. More of a question. Yeah, I don't drink any longer, but when I did, I quite enjoyed the New Glarus beers. So that's the brewery that makes Spotted Cow, but I don't think Cow is good, but I really liked Moon Man, Two Women, and Fat Squirrel. Those were three of their... Is that three? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, three of their beers that were really good. I'd also want to shout out Point Brewery that's in Stevens Point, MKE Brewery that's here in Milwaukee, and Capital Brewery that's in Madison. Those are all great ones, and I think they all do tours. MKE Outboard was a good Pilsner, so that was good too. And I used to like Leinenkugel's more, but I think they kind of sold out. I mean, they don't even brew in Chippewa Falls anymore, and that makes me sad. So, like Leinie's Original, I don't like all the fruity stuff. That's the other thing they did. They just went too fruity with everything. Yeah, can never go wrong with the Miller High Life though. So that was my real favorite. But yeah, I don't drink anymore. But when I did, those were the ones. Thanks. All right. Now we are going to play Choose One, Lose One.
Ladies and gentlemen, roll up and choose your power-up from the game of the week. You pick a power, we pick a consequence. It's Choose One, Lose One, the game where everyone's a loser.
All right, and I just want to add a note here. Let's make sure to keep these related to the game of the week. There were some that sorry in advance. I cut a couple comments for Choose One, Lose One just because they didn't pertain to Ridge Racer, and I understand that like an arcade racer is not going to be like the pinnacle of probably like the Choose One, Lose One. Like just wait till next week when we're talking Dragon Ball Z. Holy shit, that's going to be a fun one. But like I think in general we'll keep these to the game of the week, and maybe we'll do some sort of like Choose One, Lose One extravaganza when all three of us get together and do a show. So we'll keep those ideas in your back pocket if you got just kind of weird general ones. But okay, first one, we got 3 this week. Let's go with Brother Retro, who said, I want to race on ridges 64 times. Well, guess what? You will make it pretty far. You're going to race 63 ridges, and then you don't quite make it before your timer runs out. All right. Big Deal says, what's a ridge racer? How about a working N64 with a holy quartet of WCW and WWF wrestling games? No. What you get is an N64, and you can only play Ridge Racer. Hooli the Hunter says, I want the ability to hit a guardrail at full speed and receive 0 damage. Well, just like the actual game, you can hit the rail and take no damage, but you will lose all your speed and everyone will pass you. Because that's pretty much how it happens. All right, thanks. Yeah, sorry, that was a pretty short Choose One, Lose One, but then again, this was a pretty short, pretty thin game as far as depth of your powers goes. It's pretty much just accelerate and turn. All right. With that said, we're going to turn it over to Alan for the Gentleman's Interlude.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines because we're going full throttle into Ridge Racer 64. The high-speed drift-happy adrenaline rush that brought the legendary arcade series roaring onto the N64 track. Developed by Nintendo Software Technology, that's right, not Namco this time, this turbocharged title peeled off the starting line in North America on February 14th, 2000, just in time to steal your heart, and skidded into Europe on June 29th, 2000. And let me tell you folks, this wasn't just a lazy port, this was a full-on pit crew rebuild. NST took the best from the PlayStation classics, Ridge Racer Revolution, and Rage Racer, and dropped them into one sleek N64 racer, adding new tracks, new cars, and that classic Ridge Racer flair. The result? A white-knuckle, edge-of-your-seat racer that had N64 fans gripping their controllers like a steering wheel at 200 miles an hour. And oh boy, that gameplay? Smooth as silk and tighter than a hairpin corner in 5th gear. Drifting has never felt better. Tap that brake, swing the back end, and you're sideways through turns like a pro. It's got Grand Prix mode, time attack, car attack, each one a high-speed showdown with speed, skill, and pure reflexes. Visually, it's a photo finish, bright, fast, and full of arcade energy. The N64 pushes hard here, folks. You've got bold track designs, crisp car models, and a rocking soundtrack that keeps your pulse pounding and your tires spinning. And in the split-screen mode, you and a buddy, head-to-head, bumper-to-bumper, in a race to racing glory. In the end, Ridge Racer is a celebration of speed, drift, and pure arcade mayhem. NST stepped up to the starting line and delivered a podium finish. If you've got a need for speed and a love for classic Ridge Racer thrills, this is the one to beat. And across the finish line it goes! Ridge Racer 64, what a ride!
All right, thanks, Alan. That was beautiful. Now, comments for the game of the week, and we have 2 this week. First comes from Brother Retro, who says, "What's to say? It's a racing game. It's on the 64, and man, it's a good time. Let's go." I agree. I had a really great time with this game. Did Alan and Brian? We'll see. Hooli the Hunter says, "Man, there are so many good racing games on the 64. This is definitely in my top 3. I'd be interested. What are your top 3? This is a very good game. I'd have to think. This might be my top 3 too. I think it would go. This is gonna be spicy. I think it would be this, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer and Diddy Kong Racing. Yeah. Sorry, you'll notice I left Mario Kart out because I like Diddy Kong Racing better. Yeah, there are. The 64 did have some good racing games, good arcade racers and good kart racers. But let's talk about it. Let's get into the discussion with Brian and Alan, and you don't have to listen to me talk about it the whole time. All right, released in 2000, developed by the Nintendo Software Technology Company, published by Nintendo. Basically, it was Namco, but for the 64 version, it was all Nintendo. Platforms N64, and now it's on the Switch Online. That's how I played it. Let's go. All right, here for Retrotopia episode number 103, we are talking Ridge Racer. It's Sam here with Alan and Brian. How are you doing, fellas?
Pretty good, buddy. Pretty good. Raring to go.
I guess.
Oh, hell yeah. I know you guys are excited to talk about Ridge Racer.
Oh, you know what? Like, as long as it pisses Brian off, this game is spectacular. I love it so much.
And you, like Ridge Racer, you can also eat the inside of my ass and really dig your tongue in there to clean it out.
Ugh.
What, you mean I'm going back for seconds? Like,
your filter really is gone, isn't it?
Yeah, just to clarify, like we established ahead of time that Brian is lacking in sleep, but not lacking in spice.
Yeah,
Right.
well, this game did nothing but piss me off because I made the mistake of playing the PlayStation Ridge Racer Type 4s, which is a much superior game, and it just showed the glaring flaws in this game. And I'm not going to spoil my entire thing right now because I really do want to make an episode out of this, but this game is not getting a good review from me.
I feel like that was the episode for Brian.
Right. Did Type 4 come out at around the same time? Was that a PS1
No, it came out
game?
around the same time. I think it came out a year earlier, a couple months earlier. It was like 99 and this game was 2000.
Oh,
Okay.
There you go. I did not know that.
All right. So it came out just before, and then this is probably like a Nintendo 64 port.
Yeah, you know
more
how
or less.
Nintendo is all like cartridges are so much faster loading times, but you got to get rid of all the cool features like the voiceovers, the story, the extra tracks, the ability to use an analog stick in any fashion whatsoever, even though we were the first ones to really stick one on a mainstream console. Yeah, that's
Sure.
all on display in this game.
Oh boy. Well, do you guys, aside from playing it now, and why I can't remember why we picked this. I think we were just kind of looking for Switch Online games or games that were just generally available for everyone.
I also think it's because I also think it's because we didn't do a racing game yet, and we really thought that we ought to do a racing game that wasn't just Mario Kart.
Yeah, we've had a couple of racing games. Yeah, but nothing like
What else have we had for racing games?
Rock and Roll Racing.
F-Zero.
F-Zero?
Okay, you got me there, all right? You know what? I'm going to sit down. I'm just going to stew in my my anger, but I was thinking more behind the car racing instead of over the top.
That too, and also this is the first racing game that we've covered that is just like quote unquote realistic or actual cars and not like cartoonish or futuristic or kart racer or something like that, because we did Mario Kart too, so they've all been kind of kart racers.
This is a pure arcade racer, right?
Yes.
like in every sense of the word.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, you have the timer over the top, the checkpoints. I mean, Ridge Racer was an arcade game first, and it's made by Namco, so it's got that arcade flavor, that arcade feel to it, and even the um, what do you call it? All the extras, all the little stylistic motifs, like all the cars are painted up. That was a nice touch. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but like whenever you unlocked a car, there was like a Pac-Man car, there was a Dig Dug car, there was a Galaga car.
I mean, I can't say I unlocked all that many cars in this.
No,
I mean,
it's. I don't know. Like, I don't know how somebody can be obsessed enough with this game to sit there and be like, "Hey, I want to play it more." But
Oh, I did.
it's just. Yeah. Well. Anyways, Sam's not going to be on the show much longer.
I don't know, man. I mean, listen. I mean, if this is the kind of thing that you're into, I mean, I'm not historically, as you know, the biggest fan of racing games, and you know, I don't necessarily know that this has changed my opinion on them. But because I've never if we're going to do history with the game, I've heard of Ridge Racer. And that's about the extent of my history with this game and the series. So I didn't really know exactly what type of racing game this was going to be, but like right out of the gate, right across the starting line, as it were, this looked pretty like damn spectacularly close to just a stand-up arcade game, or a sit-down arcade game, as it may be, that you come across in the arcades. You know, it really does have that very, very arcadey, fast pace, you know, time-based appeal to it. And if that's your jam, I think this would be something that people would enjoy and play a lot of, and try and unlock everything. I'm just not any fucking good at it. So
Yeah.
I did the bare minimum, and that was enough for me.
See, I have played Ridge Racer before, and I played it in the arcades. I've played it on PlayStation. I've done all that, and I had high expectations of this game because Ridge Racer is supposed to be that arcadey fun game, the unrealistic drifting, the fast overtakes, the excessive speeds, weaving through the mountains and stuff like that. But that's where this game fails, is it controls so poorly, and a lot of the levels you spend more time bouncing off the walls than you do actually doing any technical racing, and it just kind of sucks because you can't just like brake to slow down for a corner and take it normally, but as soon as he hit the brakes, well, he's going into fucking drift mode, and his drift mode is to turn completely to one direction, like 90 degrees, and slam into a wall. No matter how long I spent trying to figure out the drifting, and I spent a long fucking time on the time trial going lap by lap by lap, trying to figure out where the sweet spot is to go around the corner without bouncing off the walls. And I learned two goddamn things about this game. One, I can drift a 360, and for some reason that'll actually make it around a corner. I'll do a full circle, but I'll lose all my speed. Or I'm going to do the sweetest ass drift, and after the last second, for no reason, it's going to drive me straight into the wall. Like, I'm going to get the perfect grip on my tires, and then bam, lose all my speed. Those are the only two styles of drifting in this game.
So just taking a step back, Brian, you've played more Ridge Racer than we have, because I don't think I played this at all. I think it was, if anything, it was a renter, but I don't even know if I have any experience renting this. I think mostly I played on the 64, like the Cruisin' series. San Francisco Rush was freaking awesome, and then I think there was like a MXC, I think, or something like that. It was kind of like a rally racing game, but never got to this one. So this was my first time through it. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad.
See, well, it's my Animaniacs.
I kind of had. Here we go. Now, I kind of had both experiences at the same time with this game, so I feel like I come like literally right in the middle of you guys, because for the most part,
he said, "Come right in the middle of it."
Yeah, I realized what was going to happen as soon as it left my mouth.
Another clip for the Spank Bank.
There
Yep.
you go. Because for the most part, now listen, I want to make it perfectly clear that one of the reasons I steer clear of racing games is because I don't like the person that they make me while I'm playing them, and this game is no exception. Like, if any type of game is going to make me snap a Switch console in half, it's a fucking racing game. And I don't appreciate this one. I mean, what kind of fucking racing game has you needing to get first place in every single race in order to proceed?
Yeah,
and don't answer that, because there's probably about a million of them.
That's a very arcadey thing there. To carry on, you need to be first place.
Yeah,
I
it was
get
kind of
that,
bananas.
But, you know, why can't you just play first, second, or third? I mean, is that not enough? Anyway, I digress. But I was having such... I mean, I started off, it wasn't too bad. You know, I was getting kind of, you know, I was not doing well, but I was starting to get the hang of things and what have you. But the difficulty curve in this game, for me anyway, got really steep, really, really quickly, and like I was pure raging at this game. And like I feel sorry for you guys, because we chat in the Discord. Obviously, we have our own little channel that we talk in, and I think I bitched about this game just about every time I played it. And how many times did I say I'm done? Like I've done all I can.
We've gotten to know you well enough to know when you say you're done, what you mean is I'm going to take a 30-minute break and then go back at it because I'm obsessed with finishing games.
I am. I know it's a fucking problem because it's just the pride, the fucking pride takes over, and I rolled credits on this, and to roll credits on this game, you get about halfway through it, and you know what? That's a win as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw credits because I thought, like, well, there's quite a bit left.
Yeah, oh yeah, because you can see all the tracks, right?
Well, right, yeah, you know that there's grayed out tracks, at least half of them left, and it turns out that they're mirror tracks, which makes sense. That's quite a common thing in racing games.
Space-saving technology.
Oh yeah, but but they are harder. They're quite a bit more difficult, even on the novice. Like, so basically, you get novice, intermediate, and expert of the 3 regular races, and then you get the same, presumably the same, because I didn't get that far in it, of the mirror courses. But even the novice are pretty tough. Like, you get to that point where you're closing in on the final lap, and you know you have just a couple of spaces to make, or a couple places to make up, and you could see those cars in front of you, but they just do not draw any closer.
You know what really pisses me off about the cars in this game is no matter how you hit them, you're the one who loses speed. And they will come at you if you pass them or you're about to pass them. How many times did I make a sweet move into the inside to overtake, and the guy just rams into me, and next thing you know, I'm half speed. Then I'm accelerating back up to catch again, and then I have to do the whole shebang over. Or they run into the back of me, and some reason I lose all my speed, and they rip around me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this game? That drove me to Allen levels of insanity. I love racing games, and that pissed me off.
I agree with that, Brian. I agree with that hard, because that is just a larger part of one of my biggest gripes of this game, and it's the catch-up style of racing, because no matter what I fucking tried, as soon as that countdown...
I know where you're going, yeah.
As soon as that countdown reaches 0 and you have to start the race, like, there was nothing.
No, they shoot off the line, and you're sitting there spinning tires. I figured it out how to get off the line with minimal spin, and it did nothing. I still had to catch up to 12th place.
Were you just feathering the acceleration?
Yeah, you go up to 6,000 RPM there, and you just tap the A button until or the accelerator until your tires stop spinning. Then you just hold it down. But if you do it right, your tires don't spin that long, but you still don't start accelerating until you fucking stop spinning your tires. And by that point, all the goddamn launch control cars are already around the corner and down the track.
I don't think there's any way of getting around that. I think that kind of that. I mean, what is the reverse of rubber banding? Because that's what the fucking cars in this race do. Like, they are gone, and I just don't get it.
I was looking. I was trying to. I don't know if I pulled up the manual or if I just tried to search and I found a Reddit page about the game, and it was like, what the fuck do I need to do to get a little boost going? And it's
I think
and
I found that same page.
Yeah, all the responses were just like, you don't.
Yeah.
And
No.
I think this is basically an arcade port or an arcade style game. So I think that's kind of like in an arcade game, you know, the name of the game is to feed quarters into it, and you know, you have to be very skilled in order to
Sure.
hit the checkpoints within the time limit and all that. So I think that is really kind of why this game is designed the way it is.
That's the other thing is Ridge Racer Type 4 didn't have checkpoints. They didn't have the countdown from 50 seconds for you to go from checkpoint to checkpoint, which baffles me why they would put it into this game to make it purely arcadey.
I mean, I get using the timer. It's a holdover from that old style of arcade racer. But what I don't get is how that fucking timer works. Because, you know, there were several races that I was in where I'm like in third place, fourth place, and I get timed out. And I'm just like, if I'm in third or fourth, surely I'm fast enough to beat the timer. Like, I would understand if I was in like 11th or 12th and the timer counted me out. And I'm just, okay, fine. I am doing really, really badly. But if I'm having a semi-good run... Like, why am I losing time?
I'm surprised you actually timed out. I never timed out.
No, neither did
Oh, I
I.
did.
I usually
no,
ended up with like over 50 seconds and quite often over 99 seconds on races.
Can we just like roll back about 15 minutes or so when I said I am really bad at racing? Like, I wasn't just,
Yeah, I suppose.
I weren't just whistling Dixie.
Well, I think what happens is basically every time you hit a checkpoint, you get time back, obviously, but it doesn't just let's say you have 60 seconds and then when you hit the checkpoint just goes back up to 60 seconds. I think it adds a certain amount
like
of time.
25 seconds, yeah.
Right, but it stacks. And so you
Yeah.
can actually gain time the faster or the better you're racing, you'll gain time at each checkpoint and then have more to work with.
Sure.
In theory.
Just kind of, it was just weird. It was just weird to be like in that top half of the race and actually time out. Like, you know, I mean, it happened a couple of times. It wasn't every race, but it was still kind of like, okay. I mean, the finish line's in sight. What the fuck happened there? Just, I don't know.
Well,
Maybe everyone was having a bad day.
Like I said, I know you said it's a product of its or a holdover from arcades, but I was talking about Ridge Racer Type 4, and that's an older game than this, and they got rid of it, so they know that the timer's not really that good. But you think of like Cruising USA and all these arcadey type of racers on the N64.
They all had it.
They all had it. Yeah, exactly. It's just the N64 trying to be the home arcade system still, and everybody else was moving away from it. And I don't know. It's just, I honestly, outside of arcades themselves, where I understand it's a money making mechanism, I don't see the point of having checkpoints inside of racing games.
It's just
Even
like
in this era.
It's just like having scores on a platformer. Like, who cares what your score is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Just something there
Yeah.
for the dinks.
Yeah.
No, I do agree with you, Brian, because it's. I mean, it's, you know, surely where you place in the race is all that really matters.
It
I mean,
does.
why? If I'm doing badly enough to get timed out, just let me finish the race because I'm not going to win anyway.
Well, yeah, I
right?
mean, if you have to make first place, and then the timer is just another handicap that prevents you from being able to focus on the race, because now you're also, well, shit, I got 10 seconds to get to the next checkpoint, time to drive extra recklessly or something like that, then you end up losing the race, so you've lost anyways. It's
exactly.
an unnecessary part of this game.
Here's something I'm just thinking of about finishing in first place. Now, I don't watch racing. Maybe you guys do. Maybe you can answer this. But
I do.
If I have to finish the race in first every time, why am I starting the next race at the back of the line?
Yeah, that's another friggin' arcade or like racing game trope.
Yeah.
Like, why do you always end up at the back of the line even though you're the fastest guy in the grid? It's not how it works.
Well,
I mean, that's a minor gripe. I understand there has to be a challenge in the game, and that's fair enough. But it's just like, this game just constantly puts you on the back foot in every race, and you never feel like you're winning until you win, right?
Well, yeah.
But you know what? The newest Gran Turismo does the same thing. Like, I think when you get later into the game, because I've never actually gotten that far into it, but I think later in the game you'll do qualifiers where you actually get your place based on that. But early in the game, you always start at the back of the pack and you have to work your way through the pack. But again, that's a real racing game as opposed to this, which is supposed to be arcadey. So in the arcades, I get it, but there is no reward for winning a race in this game outside getting the trophy and moving to the next race.
It's just kind of funny
Sam,
because
you were going to say something.
Yeah, they group these races as quote unquote Grand Prix, but it's really not a Grand Prix. It's just a way for them to group the races together because you start from scratch each time. I think it would if you didn't want to have to finish first in order to advance. I think the way that they would have compromised on that is to have you race the block of them, like if you do a Mario Kart circuit. And you have to you do 4 races or whatever, and then you have to place high enough in each one to get, first, second, or third place in the cup total instead of. But this isn't that sophisticated of a game. They're just like, here, we're gonna throw you in, and you're gonna have the same style of experience every single time.
Yeah, good luck.
But I did
Don't
appreciate,
run out of time.
Sorry, but it does let you, I want to play for a bit and. You don't have to get locked into 3 races every time you start the circuit. You know what I mean? Like you can pick and choose which races, and you can retire if you want to and switch cars. It's not like you're locked in for 3 whenever you're.
No, that is true.
Yeah.
That's
so
true.
I mean, there's give and take, I guess.
I mean, there is a lot of there's a lot of track variation, despite the fact that there's not a lot of track variation in this game, because it's essentially like the same 3 maps, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For both easy, intermediate, and expert, there are just different areas
But again,
that are
that's
diverted or.
Sorry, that's a space-saving thing for the tiny Nintendo 64 cartridge.
I get that, and I kind of think it's both. Like logically, I think it's a clever use of the cartridge. Fair enough. But then part of me is just like, well, I've kind of seen this track. I'd like to see something different. Like, you are repeating the same tracks over and over again. And all right, you're going different routes through them, but it does kind of get a bit rinse and repeat after. I mean, I don't think there's anything they could have done. It's just...
Made a better game.
Tell us what you really think, Brian.
Right. Well, that is kind of a common thing where in those days or when you got to the next set of races in an arcade, it was the same track with like an extra turn or, an expanded version of the track. I think I want to say San Francisco Rush did that too, where, there were more expert or intermediate versions of the races, and they would just have like an extra. Obviously those assets existed. It just, this turn opened here. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer does the same thing. Like those planets and those tracks are recycled over and over, but like as you go through the circuits, they get bigger and bigger and have different turns and stuff like that.
All right. So I guess it's just a common thing with the genre. It's just, I've not, like I say, I'm not even a fair weather racing person. I just don't play them, so it's not something I'm familiar with.
Just to add to this, even in real life tracks, they do sometimes have the ability to reconfigure the track for different types of races. So.
Oh yeah.
All right.
What's real life? I have
Withdrawn.
no idea what that is.
I'm even less likely to watch racing in real life.
It's actually pretty fun. I
don't know.
I've attended.
Except for NASCAR. NASCAR is boring as shit.
Yeah. Although I will say, just circular track racing like IndyCar or NASCAR is really fun to attend in person. I've gone to one. It's fucking cool. It's like I've always been that person. It's like I enjoy racing video games. Obviously, like I used to be a bigger runner than I am now, and I enjoy racing just in general. And I was just like. But always NASCAR, IndyCar was just like whatever. But then I went to one a couple of years ago, and I was just like, "Oh, I get it." As soon as the engine started, I was like, "I get it."
See, I often think about like people who go and watch Grand Prix and things like that. It's just you kind of sit there or stand there in your little area, and then the cars they go past, and then what are you doing? Like,
oh, it's fucking awesome.
There's a screen
though.
you can watch.
Yeah,
Depending
I know.
where
It's
you
so
are.
cool. Yeah.
Like I watch Formula One all the time, and the grandstands, they all have like monitors to kind of show the race as it's going around. And a lot of places will actually put the stands where you can see more than just in front of you on the track.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh, so it's, yeah, okay, that makes sense because it wouldn't be all the way around the track. That'd be fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, you just see your section, and then there's some corners and stuff like that that are premium price corners because that's where most of the action tends to happen, and it's a big business and it's growing every year.
See, there you go. This has been learning. Alan learns about racing from Sam and Brian. I feel like I've learned something today. I'm not going to use any of this information for anything, but I appreciate you guys putting such a heavy shutdown on the point I was trying to make. I withdraw my criticism of the tracks. Clearly, this is a world I'm unfamiliar with. It can have its point back. There you go. Brian,
Well,
you just argued this game up a point. How do you feel about that?
Well, somebody's got to give it a point somewhere.
Oh, you are so angry.
Okay, yeah, all right. So I'm going to unload a little bit here because I think I kind of killed the conversation, but I'll restart it. My biggest problem with this game is the controls. You can't feather an N64 analog stick to go around a corner softly because the N64 analog stick, even though it is technically an analog stick, for this game it really works like a D-pad because you have a dead zone and then all of a sudden your car is turning and then you have to do the thing you used to do with D-pads, which is tap your way around the corner. And that's where the problem with the drifting is you're trying to go around the corner there and you're trying to feather the control or the analog stick in order to control the slide, and this game does not have any give. So if you accidentally go too far or you go back too fast, the car will fishtail or will slam into the wall or do the 360 around the corner, like a literal 360. And if you tap anything, including some of the places like grass, you will lose your drift and then you'll lose all your speed. And that's what frustrates me about this game. It's not that I can't get by everybody, which still I'm pissed off about the physics where the car slows you right the fuck down. It's that no matter what I did to try to figure this out and learn the drifting, it didn't work, and it didn't make any logical sense of why it wouldn't work. It's really bad controls.
See, that's how I felt for the lion's share of playing this game until I got to a point where I did actually finally figure it out. But it did involve like going into the options and changing some things around, like how the drift worked, which I do appreciate them having in there. There were like 3 different options for like collision and the drift, which is a really nice touch.
Yeah, that actually gets a point on the game because yes, you could change I had the collision for Ridge Race 64, and then the drifting with Ridge Racer Revolutions, and
now you see
that's supposed to be the way you do it. Online, that's what everybody said. Switch it to that, and you're golden. And it did not help at all.
Interesting.
No, that did not help for me. Putting it back on Ridge Racer 64 is how I finally figured out how to play this game. And that's interesting, Brian. You said, did you actually play this on the N64?
Yes. Well, I played it on the Switch Online with the N64 controller.
Oh yeah. Okay, you've got the controller. Yeah.
Oh,
see, I played this.
Right.
I played this handheld on the Switch, and I was literally using the D-pad the whole time. I never once, and I think maybe that's because I just didn't trust myself to be precise with the analog.
Oh, you used the D-pad?
I used the D-pad the whole time.
Whoa.
Absolutely.
We all played this in different ways, which is really funny.
It's
like
wild, right?
That kind of incline. Like I already enjoyed it, but like that kind of inclines me to even give it more of a bump because it's like you can, especially now, we might say that this game isn't, a good modern game or like, these N64 games don't hold up or whatever. But there is some customizability to the way you play it, especially nowadays. You can play it handheld on your Switch, and that's how I played it too. And I actually had, I went and picked up a copy on the 64 because I wanted to try it just on native hardware, and it was fine. And and then I played it on the TV, like docked with my Switch, and I had a harder time with it.
yeah.
And then I would pull it off the dock, and I would be fine. Like that just is the way that it works for me. I don't know.
Go on, Brian.
I was supposed to say get the fuck out of here because I just picked up my Switch, turned the game on. I'm using the fucking D-pad, and guess what I'm doing seamlessly?
It's drifting. Yep.
Drifting. Like, oh my god, I could win this game now.
Yeah. The
Fucking all goddamn. You know what? This game loses points for that because fucking hell.
Yeah.
Well,
I almost think this game is better on the Switch Online in handheld mode. It's just way more. It was way more fun to play that way, which is crazy.
For a start handheld, but for a second, I had so much more control with that D-pad because I could just tap, 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 rather than like shifting it across and what have you. Like maybe it's because I'm so used to playing retro games or something like that. The D-pad just felt right to me. And that is how I figured out the drifting because, I got up to like I think it was like the expert tracks, like I guess the last 3 before the first credits roll. And I was really, really struggling with those last 3 expert tracks. And,
yeah, they're tough.
Like for the most part, I'm just trying to think. I was using, we're probably not going to talk all that much about cars, but there was this one car that I was using for the majority of the game, and that's the RT Ryukyu, I think. And that car just has just all the way crazy handling and grip. I was just like, well, I'll use that because for the early going, I was using that to just get round corners because, you pressed even a little bit left or right and it fucking went. So it was so good in the corners. And, with a little bit of brake and what have you, golden. And I was just like, why the fuck can I A, not drift, and B, not get any speed to beat these last few races? And then I changed it to this Xevious red car that I unlocked somehow or another. And that has fairly low handling and almost zero grip. And I just found that I could drift like a beast in that thing. And that's how you win this game. Like, this game is won in the corners. Once you figure out that drift and you can get round, like when you're drifting, this game is very forgiving.
Yeah.
I found I was not crashing into things I should have been. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the thing is, once I did, I was just like, it was a whole different ball game. I was just like, I get it now. Like that drift, if you get it right, the game forgives so much. Like it's just like, how am I not crashing into anything while doing this? It's just because, especially in those like S turns and things.
Yep.
It's like, oh yeah, well you're drifting, so you're probably fine. So there you go.
And I got to the point I figured out the drifting relatively quickly because I was, usually when I'm playing a game like this, I'll try the shoulder buttons. I'll try, is it braking? What is it? And the way that at least the default setting is, in order to drift, you start your turn and you let go of the accelerator and then you press it again, is the way that I got it to work. And there were times when if you were actually sitting in the car, the speed that I was taking hairpin turns and hugging the corner, like you'd probably have jelly for brains. Was just nuts. Like the G-forces would have been crazy, but
it feels so good when you get it right, though,
yes,
right?
Yeah, and especially because I was passing in a hairpin turn, and that felt amazing.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. Like this game, for the most part, these cars are so fucking far ahead of you that you have to win it by cornering.
Yes,
and that's where I was going wrong because I was braking into corners, and it's just like, yeah, I'd get around the corner, but I was losing time. Like you have to use the drift to keep your speed up. And yeah, so you take your finger off accelerate, then initiate the turn, and then put the accelerate back on, and you'd
fly.
You'd just fucking go. You would go.
That's
how I beat.
The only time I'd use the brake for a turn is if it was a, like one of those wide turns that you just ended up having too much speed to do without braking. So I would just kind of give the brake a little tap just to get you the extra turn around the corner. Or the ones where they were just kind of, the course itself was just kind of wavy, so it was just like weaving. I would use the brake to just weave a little bit.
See, I'd always find using the drift around that weave was pretty good. Brian's just completed the game, look.
I am so pissed off right now because I just grabbed the car that Alan was talking about because that was the one I initially used as well because I needed
Which
the
one?
grip because I couldn't drift the RR Revolution Ryoki something or other super handling car.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I was just playing with it and I was using the D-pad the whole time and I just killed my best lap times
There
in
you
the
go.
time trial. I was getting 103s on the first course and I'm getting like 58s now. I'm so fucking angry.
That's the funny
I
thing
think we
is
fucking
like
broke Brian.
I think the funny thing is like yeah, I mean we just covered Metal Marines. I was like, how am I like was there a correct way to play this? It's like turns out no, it just is kind of a hard, arbitrary game. And it's like this one is like no, there's a trick to it somewhere. Like you just
Yeah,
gotta
just don't play it until 2025 when you have a Switch 2 and use a D-pad.
There you
Oh,
go.
I didn't use
There
the
you go.
D-pad. I just feathered that stick.
Yeah,
Headed
well,
that stick.
la-di-da, Mr. Fancy Pants. Mr. Super Racer.
Now I tell you what, if I was using the analog stick, like this whole game and console would have gone in the bin like very early on.
No, but
Like
Alan
that.
was right, though. You tap the D-pad until you're in the drift, and you can just kind of put the system down for a minute while you drift through the corner, and then all you have to do is tap the D-pad the opposite direction, and then you're driving off. And it's like, there's nothing that says use the D-pad on the N64 game or in the controller. It's like, use the super analog stick and get pissed off.
I tell you
That's-
what, I'm just gonna bask. I'm just gonna bask in that Alan was right. Now, I don't hear that enough in my life. Thank you, Brian. I needed to hear that today.
Hold on, I gotta write the time down to cut that part out.
you know,
you can't.
you know what's
you
funny
can't cut
though?
it out of my brain.
You know what's funny though is, yeah, it's like at the time, everything was all about that analog stick though, so they weren't gonna advertise like this game is better on the D-pad because we were going away from D-pads at that time. That was like it's like the underhanded free throw of. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it is more accurate to shoot a free throw in basketball underhand, but no one does it because it looks silly. And this is the same thing. Like no one's going to use that D-pad because that wasn't cool anymore.
You know what? I have never been accused of being cool before, and my brain just instantly defaulted. It's just like, oh, I must have to play this with the D-pad. Like, I didn't even consider on my first few races trying, and when I did, give it a go, I was like, oh, yep, that's why I'm not doing that. I'm gonna go back to my precious D-pad,
Right?
because otherwise, fuck this game, fuck the turns, fuck everything. I would not be able to do it. No chance.
I feel like I wasted so much time with that stupid analog stick.
That's it, Brian. When you should have just been taking the D.
Yes, exactly. I will take as many Ds as I can now just to make sure that never happens again.
So, Brian, has this changed your opinion at
No,
all on the game?
no, I'm actually
No,
more
no, he's
pissed off
more mad.
now because I learned about this. Like, I've been playing it for a week and a half, and I just learned about this. This pisses me off so much. It's actually losing points because of it. I mean,
Oh, I love how angry you are.
it's so dumb. Like, just make the drifting a little bit easier and you have a solid game here. Maybe turn the solid brick physics off of the opponent's cars. Maybe if they run into the back of you, they slow you down and maybe you get a little bump boost or something. It's like, it's these little things, but they're so massive in scope of this fucking game that it just ruins the experience.
I don't even want to tell him that you can change the fucking collision
Oh,
settings on this
Oh,
game
I know
as
you
well.
can.
I didn't play
I
with
know
those at
you-
all, but I did find sometimes that getting bumped by the opponents would give me a boost, but it was not as frequent as when it slowed me down. So it's almost like
sure,
it's not
no,
noticeable when
yeah.
it does happen in your favor. It's just like, oh, okay. And sometimes I think they were kind of colliding with you from behind too. They would kind of.
Oh, they
Yeah,
would try to get you. They would fucking come for you. Like, you would be coming around a corner, and all of a sudden, they would just take a different line and slam into the side of you. Next thing you know, you're down to
Exactly.
80 miles per hour, and they
Some-
fucking drive away without any penalty at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes
I
I
can't
feel
tell
like
you
they would go sideways almost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
or you're,
they knew how to drift.
or yeah, like you're doing this. They're on the opposite side of the track, and you have like 4 or 5 lanes wide area in a straight. and for no reason they just jet over and they slam into you, and it's like, why? Like that is just literally designed to slow me down for no reason.
Yeah.
And the last
what,
level I played, that kept happening, and I would be like 12th place. I'd get up to 10th or 8th or something like that. And next thing you know, one guy would just clip the back of my car. And next thing you know, 4 cars past me. I'm back in goddamn 12th.
The rage
Yep.
you feel when you get bumped or you hit the side or something. And
Absolutely.
like, I swear that this game's collision detection is about 6 inches pissed one way or the other.
Yeah.
Like, because there are times I was like, there's no fucking way I hit this. I mean, there were times I was just like, oh yeah, like I'm legitimately climbing a mountain right now. But there are times when I was like, I never, no, not in a million years hit that. But you start seeing those cars pass you and you start drifting down to 12. And I just felt like the rate, like my hair was turning blonde and I was just, oh. But yeah, just like the tension that I would feel every time you see that little white thing at the bottom of the screen. There's just like this little faint little white blob just when you know a car is right up your ass, and it's just I could feel the palpitations. Like these games in general are just not good for my heart health, man. This is why I don't play them.
Yeah,
Oh,
nothing was
fuck.
more frustrating too than when you're having and it takes like, especially in the intermediate and expert courses, like it takes a fair amount of concentration to just lock in and gain space, gain your space, I keep saying spaces, gain your places and do the turns correctly. Like I would kind of have my, obviously there's a mini map of the course. It doesn't show you where any of the other cars are, just yours, unless you're doing a challenge race to unlock a new car. But, I'd be watching, like glancing down to make sure, like, okay, where am I at in the course? Like, what kind of turns are coming up next? So I had like a system where I would be like glancing down there to see what's next, trying to concentrate. And then all of a sudden, like you would lose your concentration for just a bit. And then you'd hit a wall and then you would just ping pong between the two walls, especially when on
Oh.
like the narrow sections, just like bam, 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 bam. And then you'd just be getting past and
I tell you what,
Yeah.
you talk about the map there, and like I couldn't figure out why that sometimes it was there and sometimes it wasn't. I couldn't figure out what I was doing to like change. Because yeah, like obviously it would have been nice to see where the other cars were. Because I swear those cars that are in first, second, and third just teleport like 100 miles ahead of you.
right.
But like that map was useful for anticipating the turns, but it wasn't always there for me for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh,
It
yeah.
would disappear.
Politics.
Yeah, I would
Politics.
definitely use that that map because it was, especially when those hairpin turns were coming up. I wanted to know when they were coming so that I could plan for it. Otherwise, if I just relied on what I could observe on the course, sometimes you would have those red arrows painted on the sidewalls, and every time I saw those, it's like, oh, it must be a tight turn, and sometimes they weren't. So I'd be like,
Yeah.
hit the drift, and then I would just drift into the near wall. I was like, oh, that wasn't a hairpin turn. I'm just not paying attention.
No. And if you're like literally neck and neck with another car, by and large, you're looking at that other car. You might not even be paying attention to what's coming up turn wise.
Yeah.
Because you were so locked in, like, come on, I got to pass this guy. And I would misjudge a turn, and I was no longer passing said guy.
I think actually, for the most part, I think the first lap is probably the hardest lap because that's where you're in the pack with groups of 3 or 4 cars, and that's where it's the hardest to get past anyone because that's where they're drifting into you or they're running into you and slowing you down. And when there's a pack of 3 cars, those are the hardest to pass. But it is really, really satisfying when you can kind of like shoot the gap between 2 cars and then get around another one on a turn. And it's like, oh, you feel like such an ace. But then like most times you're just like
Especially if
slamming
you're
into
drifting.
everything. Yeah. Especially drifting, yeah. But most
It did
times
not
you're just
happen
getting
very
slammed.
often.
No, it didn't. Like most of
No.
the time you're just getting slammed, and it's like, well, all right. If you don't
Fuck me, I
make up
guess.
enough places each lap, then it's almost impossible. If you're not within like the top 4 or 5 by lap 3, it's going to be really tough.
Oh,
You're probably
even
going to
worse. You
finish
got to
in
be
third.
third place, otherwise you'll squeak it out at the end there. But if you're not in third place by the third lap, there's
Yeah.
no way you're catching up to first place.
No, you would need
Especially,
a pinpoint perfect run just to
yeah.
have a half a chance.
Especially on those mirror courses, even on the novice. I was like, there's a couple of them where I just didn't play enough to get any further in it. But I was like, man, like this is novice. I should be able to do it. Once you get used to like how the course is laid out a little bit differently
That's
than what you're
exactly
used
what
to.
I thought.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, that's got to be a nice reset. I thought I've just beaten the expert mode, and this one says novice, and I was just
Nope.
like, the fuck it is.
It's
just
like a
the
harder
easy-
version of novice for sure.
Yeah, it's just like the easiest of the harder ones.
Yes.
It's just like, oh, great. Well, I was just like, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah,
I've done enough.
because I'd actually end up like getting third, but just barely. Like every time, like two,
Yeah.
3 times in a row, it'd just be like third, but you were really close. It's like, but not close enough, because once you're on that final stretch and you can see that finish line, you are not getting any closer to anything.
No, because everything is faster than you.
It's almost
That
like
makes
it
it too-
locks,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure the friggin' AI is just set on a predestined track, and if you knock them off that track in some way, shape, or form, their first goal is to get back on that track and carry on with their race.
Yes.
So when you do pass somebody like second place to go for first, he's coming over to take you out because he wants to be on that track that makes him a little bit faster than everyone else. I don't know. It's AI without being AI, I guess.
I think-
the AI, if we can call it that, is on a fucking warpath on this game.
Yeah. And I kind of thought of Mario Kart too at one point, because you know how in the original Mario Kart you have your quote unquote rival or nemesis or whatever that always seems to catch you. This game in the later, in the higher difficulties or like the bonus levels, like you kind of have that. There was like, I was trying to play one of the races and I kept getting, there's one of the ones I kept getting third in, and there's just this one fucking red car that would always be on my ass no matter where I was, like no matter what my place was. Once I passed it, it was always right there to just pass me whenever I slightly fucked up.
See, and I did wonder if there was a certain amount of rubber banding in this game, and
I think there is.
I don't know enough about it to sort of say one way or the other, but yeah, there were a couple of occasions it's just like you were just waiting for me to just fuck up even a little bit, and then they just blast past you.
Yep.
And yeah,
Or
frustrating.
or one of them runs into you just to make sure that everyone else can pass you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's running point for everyone else to just ruin your day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And if we're talking about like other cars being complete arseholes, like Sam, you alluded to it earlier on, but those single car challenges, which is where you unlock the other cars in this game.
Yeah.
Those are vicious.
I didn't have
the
too
first
much
one's easy.
problem with those. Yeah, I didn't have too many problems with those. I unlocked every car possible that I could, and I think it was just because like I only have one. I could kind of just run my race, and I only have one other asshole to deal with. It wasn't like I actually found those easier because there wasn't a group of cars that I needed to pass in the first lap.
I
See,
did one, and then I stopped doing it because I was just like, yeah, this is going to piss me off because you're right, it is easier. But at the same time, it's still the same thing. You make one little fuck up, and then he's passing you. Now you're playing catch up again.
See, I actually found them quite tricky. Like I did a few. I just kind of gave up because, these are supposed to be better cars that you unlock. And to this game's credit, there are a shit ton of cars to unlock in this game, and one Blinky, which is really, really fucking cool. But they are technically speaking better cars, and it's just like, well, I'm in this piece of shit that I've been struggling with for the entire game, and I want to unlock that, which is a better car, but I've got to beat it in a race. And I'm just like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to do that? Like, I need that car to beat it in another race.
Right.
It's just like, just another example of being on the back foot with this game.
It always puts you at a disadvantage. It treats it like it's an actual arcade. It treats it like it's taking your money from you. And then if you went out and bought this game, they succeeded in taking your money from you. And that's all they seem to have cared about in this game, because Ridge Racer has a really good history with their arcade style racing games, but this one just seems to almost spit in the face of it and just try to do whatever N64 trope was in their arcade race style games at the time. And that's a shame because I was really looking forward to this game. I honestly like the Ridge Racer series, and this game has made me rethink that.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man.
This game has ruined your life.
I'm going to go back to Gran Turismo, where I suck at it, but at least it's realistically sucking.
Well, I mean, we should talk a Gran Turismo game at some point, because like that, the cool thing about Gran Turismo is that there was like a, you know, you won or you earned money on the races and then could buy better cars. So the better you were at the outset, the better you were in the long run, because you could continue to buy awesome cars and upgrades and stuff like that. Otherwise, like, yeah, like a game like Ridge Racer, like this particular Ridge Racer, like the cars are what they are, and you can earn them by racing. But this one, you know, like with a Gran Turismo game, there was a, I don't want to call it like an RPG element, but like, yeah, you are building your own garage.
God help me. Like, I know we have this tradition of like planning future episodes within an episode, but it's just like, I wish the fuck it hadn't been another racing game.
That's going to happen eventually. Might as well slap the condom on and just wait for it to happen.
We need to play more racing games. More.
I guess. Well, you know, maybe it'll get me out of my racing funk, you know.
No, we're playing Budokai for next week after this episode, and I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, and Budokai is just a game that doesn't sit in my realm of enjoyment because I am not a fighting game fan, and these old Dragon Ball Z arena fighter games are just the same thing. So I'm pushing through it, Alan. You can push through another racer.
I will. I'll push through it for you. I'll push through it for you both.
There you go.
Because I don't think that this game is it's not like to say it's not completely without merit. It's just like, you know, there is actually a lot to like here. Like, it looks fucking spectacular
really
for an N64 game. Like, I thought this, like, maybe not arcade quality per se, but this game looks gorgeous. Like, all the cars look great, and there are so many of them, and it runs so smoothly. I was just like, wow, for like an N64 game, this is one of the better looking games on the system, I think.
I think so too. It does run smooth, and it really, like, with the increased difficulty, like the expert level course, like the cars are just moving faster. Like the speedometer might say the same thing, but it is a quicker pace. You do have to react faster, and it doesn't slow down at all. It doesn't.
Nope.
Yeah.
It does a great job of imparting the sensation of speed.
Yes.
While you're playing it.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know.
I'll give it that one. It's very sparsely populated, so it's easy to make it look great when you're not putting big grandstands and crowds and buildings and stuff like that. But at the same time, it doesn't need that stuff. It doesn't have to have clutter outside of your field of vision, which is going to be the road.
Mm-hmm.
For the time,
I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, for the time, the user interface or the UI there with all the information around you is, I guess, just the flavor of the time. But it's kind of a lot nowadays. Like, looking at it, if I didn't have a gigantic ass TV, it'd be almost too cluttered. I can't imagine this on an old CRT.
That's true enough. I mean, Brian, you played this, I don't even know, cockpit or first person view. I mean, how do you play racing games?
Normally I play off the bumper view, like, so that I don't see any of the car. But this one I played behind the car.
Yeah, I've got to play a racing game, like, I guess third person, if you want to call it that. You know, I don't know what the technical term for it is, but you know, I have to see the whole car, or else I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
It depends on the game. I do prefer it that way
too. Yeah.
Well, Sam, thank you, because you told me how to fucking do it on this game.
No, I really do prefer behind the car. I know it's not realistic or whatever.
Oh, it's not about realistic. I find that when you do the bumper view in some games, you get a real sense of speed. Like this, it just seems twice as fast. But the handicap is when you get behind people, you really can't see where you're going. So it's double-edged sword. But that's kind of how I got used to playing games, and that's kind of why I default to that.
Oh, I mean, everyone's got to have their favorite. I was just interested to hear what you guys did.
Yeah, I do like the behind the car view.
Yeah.
For this game, behind the car view, 100%, because you got to see your car crashing into that cliff.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I really wish
I
there
also
was
just
damage physics, though. I would love to see the car blow
Oh,
up. That would have actually satisfied me.
ugh. I'm glad there wasn't, but like I also appreciate a game that has that in a sense. Like San Francisco Rush, I think your car could explode. Like obviously you get it back, and then you can. Same thing with Episode 1 Racer. I know that's not a car racing game, but you can blow up in that game too.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, I think I would have gotten really, really bored of seeing it the way I was playing in the early going. It's
Well,
just
with
like,
how
yeah, it would have
angry
been...
I was, I would have just probably spent the last week blowing my car up.
I'm surprised you yourself have not blown up at this point.
Eh.
You sound pretty fucking close, dude.
Well, I take solace in the fact that I don't have to play it anymore.
That true enough.
Well, there you
True
go.
enough.
Well, with that said, should we give our final thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've actually talked more about this game than I anticipated we would.
Yeah, we made an episode out of this thing.
Fuck this game.
Who wants to go? Brian, why don't we let you go first? Why don't you get it all out of your system here?
Big breath in, because I'm going to need a lot of air in case I pass out from anger. But
I'm just going to get comfortable here.
all right, let me start about this game. Let me start about the things that are good about this game. All right, moving on. The things that I really, really don't like about this game are when you start the race, you always spin your tires, no matter what. Like I said, I kind of figured it out. Even then, I still ended up the same distance away from 12th place, or 11th place, I guess, in this case. And you're always playing catch-up. And then there's the drifting, which I just figured out in the duration of this episode. And it's a game changer, and it's something there should be a tutorial level, or the first level should kind of tell you, or have like a character pop up and say, drift like this. And you should be able to practice it, and not just on time trials, but practice it on different types of corners. It wouldn't be a lot for you to have one track and run a quick tutorial. Probably wouldn't even take up any space. Then there's the friggin' AI opponents who run into you and dump your speed. And it's all just a handicap after handicap after handicap that makes this game just impossible to enjoy because you're getting angry. It has a soundtrack, but I've never heard it because I'm too busy yelling at the TV. It's insane how this game had so much potential, but they just fucked it up because of that stupid Nintendo 64 controller, which ruins games. And I can't even put into words how angry this game was making me, especially today when I was just like, I gotta try it some more, and I gotta figure out this drifting. So I spent about 2 hours just on a time trial trying to get the drifting down, and anytime I got close to it where I was really paying attention to what I was doing, I couldn't repeat it ever again, or I would do it accidentally, and I was just like, it just kept frustrating me. And then I decided to jump back onto Type 4 just to see what its, I guess, contemporary is doing, and it was so much better. It has a story, cars are better, the races are better, like you're drifting around it, the opponents aren't banging into you. You still have to do like hold on, I got a cough here. Joking on my own rage. But you still have to drive properly to get through that game, but it handled so much better, and then it just made me more angry at this game. So I'm not going to spend too much more time. I think I've given it enough time of my anger that I want to give it. So I'm going to give this game a 3 out of 10, because honestly, I am just so enraged at the game that I can't stomach giving it anymore. And I think it gets its 3 because it is actually a very nice looking game for an N64 game. Its graphics are actually really, really pretty. And that's not saying a lot because it is not a super gorgeous game. And it's very void of any detail. But yeah, 3 out of 10. And that's me being generous.
All right.
Oh, I like spicy Brian.
Yeah, you didn't like this one.
Where did
Not
you
at
get
all.
that impression from? Like, were you even listening to him? God damn.
Yeah, you want to take this next one?
Yeah, why not? This is actually a pretty difficult one for me to rank because like I am far from I am literally the furthest thing from an expert on racing games. I mean, this is literally one of the few I've ever played. Like I could probably it's probably somewhere in the count of my two hands. You know, my initial impressions were that it is a gorgeous looking game. Like I was truly, truly impressed at how good this game looked. Like I was thinking, like, hang on, is this the right one? Am I playing the N64 version? And I don't think they do anything on the NSO, which is where I played it to spruce it up. I'm pretty sure it's just as is.
Yep.
And it's bright, it's very smooth, very fast paced, and like I said, it does a great job of imparting that sense of speed. So, like, if you are a fan of racing games right from the jump, you know this is one that looks fantastic and plays very well in so much as the flow of the game, no slowdown, stuff like that. Music wise, we didn't really touch on the music, but it's quite generic sort of upbeat electro sort of racing game music. There's nothing really to talk about there. It's just it does the job. I can't remember anything that stands out about it. Where my difficulty in this game comes in is talking about the racing controls themselves, because I did struggle with this game quite a bit, and I didn't know if it was a skill issue or if it was a game issue. Now, obviously, I know where Brian falls on that scale, but I think what it does actually come down to is finding the option for both the drift and collision that works for you, which is a nice little feature in this game. There is a good amount of customization. And there are so many different cars that I think it boils down to just taking your time with this game and just finding the car that works for you. Because, like I said, once I'd changed cars into those expert tracks, I had a much easier time of drifting, and I was generally having a much better time of playing the game itself. So I think it's less maybe a failing of the controls of the game. It's more that you have to find your own sort of style. You have to master that drifting, which is not intuitive at all. Brian, you're right about that. There is very little in this game to tell you exactly what you need to do to actually succeed. And it is find that drift, figure it out, because you will not succeed without it. I love that, as I said, there's so many extra cars that you can unlock. So there's a great amount of replayability in this game as well. Collision detection is, I think, a little bit fucked. And I'm not a fan of the starting from the back every single time. I get that it's a product of the arcade racer along with the timer and all that shit we talked about. It's just, I don't like having to play catch up so much throughout this game. But then if you didn't, then maybe you don't have a game. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. It probably is just me. So I'm going to give myself about a 3 for my skill with racers, but I'm going to be a lot kinder to Ridge Racer 64, and I think, it's somewhere around about that 6 or 7. So I'll split the difference. I'll go 6.5. I do think it's a decent game. I just don't think it's necessarily for me.
That's pretty
Yay.
favorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, generally speaking, I am kind of forgiving where it comes to games.
Yeah.
It's just, I have to take the personal bias of the fact that I'm not a racing fan out of it and just look at it, well, if I was, what would I think?
That's fair. Yeah. All right. I don't think I have too much else to add that you guys haven't already said. So I'll keep mine short, but it's going to be high because I like racing games. So I think it gets a racing bias bump for me. And I did enjoy this one. I think mostly because I figured out kind of the like if you kind of settle in and find your style of play within the confines of this game, I think you can have a really good time with it. I didn't change any settings. I didn't do anything really. I just kind of played around with it and figured some things out. And I mean, that might have been a little bit of luck on my part, but it really kind of led to me enjoying this game. I said it pretty early on when we started playing this, like this is actually a very fun racing game. I was surprised because I mean I'd heard of the series. Obviously, I probably have played the arcade at some point. But yeah, I just found myself enjoying this game, and I actually did go pick it up for the 64. So I've got a copy of it here. I don't know how much I'll actually play it now after, but it's always something that'll be in my collection and fun to throw on, whether I play it on the Switch Online or play it on the 64. But oddly enough, I really had the most success with it handheld. Playing it, just getting in close with the game, and I don't know what I don't know why my brain does that, but playing games handheld just tends to work better for me somehow. I don't really understand it, but whatever, it is what it is. I did roll credits on it. I played through all the expert courses and I unlocked all the cars that I could. I had a really good time with that. Yeah, I don't know. The drifting, the look of it, the speed, it was fun. It was, it is kind of bullshit that you're always in last and that they all peel away from you at the beginning, but it kind of is like that challenge where it's just like, all right, game on. I'm going to catch all you little fuckers. So, I mean, that is satisfying. Like winning the races is satisfying. Passing around the hairpin drift turns is satisfying. Weaving through when it's successful is very satisfying, very frustrating when it's not. I don't know. I'll score this thing. I'm going to give it an 8.5, which is probably higher than it deserves, but I just damned if I didn't enjoy myself while I was playing this.
All right.
Yeah.
That's, you know what? I love the fact that we're literally all over the fucking scale here.
Yeah.
That's
depending on which
cool.
one of us you like the most, that's your
It's 2 weeks in a row that we played games that were very polarizing for the group.
You
There you
guys
go.
kept saying we needed to play bad games, and now that we've played bad games, we're polarizing all of a sudden, Sam?
Well,
Get it
polarizing within, like I absolutely hated Metal Marines, and Brian, I think you did too, but I think both of you were a little bit more forgiving of Metal Marines, and then this was kind of the opposite side of the spectrum where I was like, man, Ridge Racer was awesome, and then Alan was somewhere in the middle, and Brian, you hated it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it when there's a little bit of smoke within
There was
the Retrotopia offices.
Well, it just
here.
shows the
That's right.
diversity of our interests. Like, we can sit there and suck the dick of, like, Super Mario Brothers or games like that, but in reality,
Right.
there are games that we're not going to agree on, and this just happens to be a streak of it now, and then we'll see what happens with Budokai next week.
Absolutely.
Oh
Sam,
God, yeah, we sure will. Yeah.
You said about playing this game again, and I'm just looking at the car list here because you have to carry on playing this game because I've just seen that you've got to unlock the Crazy Canuck, or Crazy Canuck rather, which is a car that you can unlock on here, and you have to do that in honor of Brian and his opinion about this game.
I'm looking this
It's
up now.
Look, it's a Canadian car right there. It's got the maple leaf and everything on it.
Oh, that's pretty. That's in 64 too.
I
Oh,
think so.
I like that.
There you go.
Textures.resource. Oh wow. And it says O Canada on it, like the letter O Canada. That is great. Yeah,
Perfect.
I'll have to
That's
keep
perfect.
playing and see if I can unlock all the cars.
Oh my God, there's a Screaming Eagle as well. That's close enough to Storm Beagle.
Oh, hello. Let me check that out now.
Unfortunately, there's nothing British here, which is a huge oversight. What did I give the game? I'm going to drop it a few points.
You drop it a point. Apparently these are very difficult cars to unlock too.
Well, Godspeed. Godspeed.
Is that it? Wow. Yeah, these cars are pretty cool, I will say. And I like the designs, and I like that. Something else we didn't mention is that you can change the color gradient.
Yes.
So you can
I actually like that. Okay, you know what? That was probably where it got one of its points. Every race you
go.
could just take the slider and put it on a different color, and you got a new car.
Yeah.
Actually, do you want to know a little secret there? I would
There's a
always
Galaga.
change.
This is cool. I got to keep playing this game and unlock all this shit.
I would always change my car to blue because then I felt like I was Sonic the Hedgehog, and that's true.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Well, all these cars, like all these ones that we're mentioning now, there's the Atomic Purple. That one looks pretty cool. But by the time you get to the Screaming Eagle and there's a car called the Ultra 64. And that's the one where all the stats are maxed all the way.
And I would just run it into a wall.
Exactly.
There's a Galaga spaceship. This looks, I got to keep playing this. All right.
There you go.
Brian, do you want to tell everyone where they can find us? Or
Nope.
I'm going to keep talking about this game. Nope.
If you want to find us, you can head over to linktree/Retrotopia. It's linktr.ee/Retrotopia, where you can find all of our social media and a link to our Discord, where we got a nice little community going. You can also go to retrotopia.dashery.com to find our merch store. We got a couple of designs out there for shirts, hoodies, hats, stickers, pins, whatever you want. Also, if you like what you heard and you want to join in on the fun, you can do so at patreon.com/Retrotopia, where you can write in a comment, or you can write in to the host of the show, and you can also play our game Choose One, Lose One. Other than that, you can also get an extra episode of words hard. You can also listen to our other show, Quick Play, where one of us picks a game and does a short review on it, or a member of our hero tier picks a game for us. Also, there's Retro Bites, which is being rebooted, and will be up and running here on October 1st on the Patreon, or October 15th on the free feed. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Good job.
All right, boys. Well, until next time, I don't really have a clever way to end this, so...
Hi there, everyone. We here at Retrotopia couldn't do what we do without the support of our Patreons. And to that effect, we would like to shout out our heroes at the hero tier. So a huge Retrotopia thank you from all of the hosts here to Andrew Wright, Wildcard, Unbuckled Cape, Makeshift Money, Sergeant Ombre, Randy Berridge, BCOS19, J Nasty 15, Chris Kaplane, Jack Datchler, Sir Busts-a-Lot, Big Kid 782, Super Dave, Big Brown Dog, Stud Still Smash, Fallen Snow Kiku, Radmac, Calin Hygus, Old Man Gamer, Raging Demon, Radioactive Hooli, Blue Shell Discharge, The Big Deal, Dylan Jacobson, Game Genius, H, Brother Retro, Shane's World, Ovindali, Zane Donovan, Brian Spritzer. So thanks as always for your support, guys. It truly means the world to us and means we can keep doing this little thing that we love so much. Game on.